Hey guys, it's Phil
And Emma
from Daddy Daughter Hair Factory. I want to go over this style. The one we did the other day, it was really popular. A lot of people were asking me how to do it, so follow along. I promise it's easy, okay? You're going to want to start with wet hair. It's much easier with wet hair because the hair is easier to group. So you'll begin with wet hair. Emma's hair is already detangled, and we already brushed it with some of So Cozy spray, so it's very easy to work with here. The tools you'll need for this style, guys, get you some spray if you don't have it. You'll want a brush, a comb, the big elastic, and the small elastic to finish things off. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I already brushed her hair, but she did a little bit of dancing before we started recording, so just in case something came in, we're going to work that out real quick. Alright, and then take the comb. Let me get you to look this way real quick. Thank you. Alright, we're going to separate a section of hair. If you use the comb, it's pretty easy to do. See that? Okay. This section, I'm just going to comb forward. That'll be out of the way. We're going to work with that in a second. Now I'm going to go for a higher ponytail, and I'm actually going to angle it more towards the left. That way you can see, that way it's easier to see the detail and the moves I'm doing. Because if I were to do it centered in the back, it might not be as easy to notice the hand movement. So this should make it a little easier. So I'm going to brush her hair back. And we're going to go up just a tiny bit. How you doing, Ems?
Good.
Doing good? Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see how this will turn out to the side. I think it'll turn out pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Alright. That's pretty good. Get it up there. Now I'm going to use the comb to smooth things out. I get asked this a lot, how do we get the hair so smooth? If you guys notice, look at the hair right here and then look at it after it's combed. You guys see a big difference, right? That's the key right there. Now before you use a fine-tooth comb, you're going to want to make sure that the hair is detangled so you're not yanking out any knots, because if there's a knot in there, you're going to find it with a fine-tooth comb. Okay. Alright, almost done. Now we're going to put the big elastic right in there. Sorry if I'm tugging on you there.
It's okay. I feel just fine.
Okay. That was a brand new elastic. You know, they get a lot easier once you use them for a little bit.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Okay. So now that I got it in there, I'm going to brush this out just to keep it smooth. And now, like I said, this is much easier to do when it's wet. And it's mainly for this step here because when it's wet, the hair just stays in little groups much easier. You see how it already wants to do its own little thing? It already wants to get in its own little groups. It's just begging to be braided.
That's a good one. Begging to be braided.
Begging to be braided. Okay. So, alright, let's get you to look this way now. Alright, so we have the small section of hair here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just comb it out, just make sure there's no knots right here. And it's important to know when you're braiding like this, when you're braiding like back to go into a ponytail, or if you're gonna braid, you need to braid in the direction that you're going. If I were to braid it right here and then pull it back, it would lump up right here. It would look a little funny, but that's just something I've learned over time. Okay, it should turn that way. Thanks, Ben.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'm going to separate this into 3, and I'm just going to start braiding my way back. Okay, hopefully I'm not blocking all the light. Okay, that's about where I want to be. Okay. I want to get to the point where I can start introducing hair to this braid. Once I got there, just gonna comb this out just to make sure it stays nice and smooth. I'll put the comb right there just to hold it. And that's alright, I didn't need it anyways.
I didn't need it anyway.
No. Okay. Alright, with this hairstyle, I'm gonna have to get down just so I can make sure to show everybody. The important thing to remember is that when you're grabbing sections of hair, they don't have to be exactly the same size, but you want to braid as close to the ponytail as you can. If you start braiding up here, then when you let it go, it'll get all the slack and it'll show. So if I braid right here, just grabbing little sections at a time, you see, like I said, it just wants to group itself together, makes it easy. All the sections are around the same size. The goal is that when you get down to the end, or at least close to the end, you have all of the ponytail into the braid. Doesn't always work out that way, but that's alright. Yeah, this is much easier with damp hair. Now I've tried this with dry hair, and I end up having to use too much product to make the hair, to make it as clean as it should be. There we go. Can I get you to tilt your head down a little bit? Thanks. Alright. I just had her tilt her head down so that way I can use the rest of this hair. The idea is when it's done and you put the elastic in there, it doesn't look silly, which I guess it could if it was just all bundled up. That looks good. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and group the rest in right there. And we're going to finish that off with an elastic. Just a small elastic at the end. That'll help hold things together. Like I said, guys, it's easier when the hair is wet. Alright, now if you look, you can see the detail, the braid coming back, and then as it's going down, it's taking a little bit more of the ponytail into it, and it just creates a cool effect. I think this is pretty simple. If you know how to French braid, this should be a cakewalk for you. And you know, try it a few times. Don't get discouraged if you try and it doesn't look that good. It's really not that important. The goal is, of course, that they like it. That's the goal. But if you think you did a bad job, just remove all the mirrors and everybody's happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for following the page. Appreciate it. Take care. Bye.
Bye.